Hi, everyone. I hope you're all doing great today. Wow. So, this is it. This is the hour. This is the moment. A moment that we've been waiting for. The moment that so many have waited for all their lives. And understandably, the fear, the confusion, and the anxiety in the minds of many across the nation of Nigeria, Africa, and even around the world is palpable. You can feel it. There's so much fear, there's so much anxiety. And this is because, arguably, this election is about the most critical, the most important, and the most unpredictable election that my short life has ever witnessed. I mean, both the pundits and the prophets alike are confused. Of course, there have been a few prophetic words that came out, but nobody can say for sure this is exactly what is going to happen, unlike so many other elections that have happened in the past. Everybody is confused. And I believe the reason that is happening is because God wants to be the one to take the glory in this election. That's why I am so happy that we have sufficiently been obedient to the Most High God with respect for this election. We've done everything He asked us to do. And so now we can confidently say that the ball is in God's own court, and we are going to leave Him to do His thing. Evidently, this battle is not against flesh and blood. We are wrestling against principalities and powers, the rulers of the darkness of this world, some of them manifesting in the form of human beings. And so God told us while we were doing that prayer, made it very clear to us that in this very season, unlike most other elections, that the kind of wickedness that people would normally, ordinarily get away with, they wouldn't be able to get away with them this time around. He made it clear, and I said it even while we were having that prayer program. I said it clearly that God is going to expose every single plan they've got to steal the mandate of the people, to destroy the wishes of the masses, which they have always gotten away with in the past. All their plans for rigging, all their plans for corrupt vote buying, so many of all these things are going to be exposed in a way that they have never been exposed before. And as I make this video, I have actually seen a lot of proofs. I have seen a lot of evidence to show that God is already answering that prayer for us. This is why I believe that God has gone ahead of us in this season to make every crooked path straight. There are so many candidates running for the office of the president of Nigeria. You probably remember about 3 or 4 names, maybe 5 names. But let's tell ourselves the truth. Which one candidate is it that if his victory is announced tomorrow or the day after, will throw the entire nation of Nigeria into a frenzy of wild jubilation? Tell yourself the truth, regardless of who you support. Which candidate would that be? Isn't that candidate P2B? It is. And the reason it is this candidate is because the Nigerian people are so tired. They are fed up with the status quo. They are fed up with the system. They want a departure from the old order. They want a new order to replace the old order. And this is not the first time they have made this known. They tried it during the EndSARS. They paid with their innocent blood. This time around, they are crying out again. They are crying out again. And for some reason, they found a man through whom they would express themselves through a political system. And that man has become the person we know today as candidate P2B. And if you ask me my own heart desire, I will tell you that my greatest heart desire would be a resounding victory for candidate P2B. And it's not because P2B has got the magic wand with which he is going to solve all our problems overnight. It's not because P2B is the end in himself, but because I see him as a viable potential means to the expected end. And this is undisputable. I believe, like I always say, that the voice of the people is the voice of God. If these people have been crying and pointing in this direction, God has got to pay attention and do something about it. That's why my other prayer in this season, even though we prayed a lot, my other prayer is that God will pour out His Spirit upon everyone who is dissatisfied with the old order, with the corruption, with the wanton destruction of lives and properties, with the brigandage, with the inhumanity that we have grown accustomed to in the place called Nigeria. That God will pour His Spirit upon all these people and give them an unusual boldness to stand their ground and refuse inducement and reject intimidation and be able to defend their mandate by every means possible, especially as long as they do it within the ambit of the law. This is my other prayer as we go into this big day. And I know that because God has always answered my prayers, He will answer this one too. And so we have done our bit. We have done all we have to do as human beings. We will now let God finish the rest. And some of that rest is going to have to go through some of us to be able to accomplish it. And I pray that in the end, by the special grace of God, we will have the last laugh. God bless you.